Ashes in the Sky, A Dream, Part 9. The Null Zone. Union Rail Depot. The key was heavier than it looked. Marcus descended the steps beneath the ruined terminal on Wabash, his path lit by emergency strobes that shouldn't have been working. Time buckled at street level, but down here, in the deep belly of the old city, it was quiet, uncomfortably so. No flickers, no echoes, no whispers. The dream logic didn't reach this far. This was a null zone, a sliver of untouched, unbent architecture. Possibly older than the dream itself, a place too forgotten to be rewritten. The lock met the key with a heavy clunk that reverberated through the iron bones of the depot. He opened the door. Inside, total darkness, and beyond it, a sound, not a voice, not static, just breathing. He moved slowly, palms lit with a faint thread glow. Stone walls lined with peeling maps, rusted benches bent under decades of unseen weight. In the far corner, tucked behind a ruined ticket booth, he found it. The machine. Not digital, not code-based. It was mechanical, analog. Worn brass and rotary dials. The machine pulsed with low, deep rhythms like a heart that hadn't beat in 1,000 years. On the screen, a single line of text blinked in dull green phosphor: "You are outside the loop, enter designation." Marcus hesitated, then typed Marcus Thread Prime. The machine whirred, gears shifting. Then a strange buzz from the walls, like hundreds of tuning forks vibrating in harmony. A slot opened on the side. Inside, a capsule. Inside the capsule, a coil of thread. Real, physical, and tangible. It pulsed with colorless light. "This is me," Marcus whispered, but the machine disagreed. Another line appeared: "This is what you could be, the others are unraveling." To be continued. Ashes in the Sky, A Dream, Part 10. Elsewhere. The shattering of Louis Grant. Louis Grant had once been a quiet maintenance tech for the Dream Grid towers on Chicago's West End. Before the collapse, before the Echo invasion, before the code cracked, he was just a man who loved jazz records and soft coffee. Now, he stood in his living room, which was also a forest, and a courtroom, and an endless hallway of versions of himself. His thread had split. He tried to speak but heard 7 voices, each his own, each with different inflection, age, emotion. One wept, one screamed, one laughed without sound. He stumbled forward, seeing reality peel like paint. The floor blinked into old concrete, then wet leaves, then vinyl. He saw a version of himself as a child playing piano. Another as a soldier. Another as a shriveled husk, watching static. They all turned toward him and spoke as one. "You never chose, that's why you're breaking." He collapsed to his knees, weeping. From the dream above, the architect watched. Louis Grant's body became translucent. His edges frayed, pixelated, scattered. But at the last moment, someone reached through the veil. A spark of silver, a thread, a whisper: "Hold on, Louis." Marcus's signature, carried through the stabilizing resonance of the null zone, reached Louis just as he began to fade. The courtroom, the hallway, the woods, collapsed inward, fusing into one stable reality. A quiet apartment, silent and whole. Louis gasped, alone again, solid. But his eyes now glowed faintly with fractal light. Back beneath the city, Marcus pocketed the capsule. The machine's screen shifted again. "You are not the only dreamwalker anymore, others are waking." A map scrolled across the old display. Points of light, faint and scattered, igniting like sparks. New nexuses, new anomalies, and new threats. "You have broken the order," it warned. "Now something older wants in." The machine trembled. Marcus stood, his voice steady. "Then we build faster than they can break." He turned back toward the stairs. Above him, the dream shook. Not just a purge anymore, not just a war, it was a migration. And something was coming through the cracks. To be continued.